Yo, give me one moment while I get my music set up. How about this one? Yes. Do that one. And then I need to share my screen. So we go boop, 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 boop. Those are the sound effects when you share screens. And let's see where we picked up last time. Oh, I need to change to start my dev server here. And now I can go to localhost 3000. And that's going to open up this project that we've been working on. It's this sort of Pokemon themed battle thing. Let me see. I need to sort some things out with this because I'm not super stoked on the current design. WOFF? Is there a font file? Yes, there should be a font. Pokemon assets. So I should have, in my source folder, have these assets. I have Pokemon assets. CSS, I don't think I'm going to need. Data, I think I already have. Images is like the sprites, I think. Yeah. Which we're also not going to use. And fonts. All right, so which fonts do we have? DP, EM, DP. Well, let's try working with some of these fonts so that maybe we can make the body font like this thing, but then we can get the sort of Pokemon style for the main thing. So I want to look up, let's see, CSS at font base. I never remember how to do this. So we do something like this. Okay, we're going to go to our CSS file in main.css. We're going to go up to the top of this, and we are going to declare a custom font base. And this needs to pull from the public folder, essentially. So we're going to add a new folder here called fonts. I guess I could just like copy this and put this over. So let's do that. Let's delete that. Let's go to public. Let's paste the font folder in there. Hopefully, looks like it's thinking about it. And looks like we've got it. Okay, so now I'm going to create a custom font called Pokey. And we're going to say we only support TTF because that's all I have. So then I'm going to go at /fonts /Pokemon BP.ttf, and that's what I have. And format is .ttf. I don't have a backup for that. So we're going to do that, and we're going to see. And let's see if I can do, we have some custom colors. I'm going to do something for the custom font. So we're going to say font dash pokey. Actually, I'm not. I'm just going to go to the app itself. And we'll see if this actually works. In my code, in my components, in app.view, where we have this, I'm going to say class is equal to, I'm just going to say font pokey. So if we want to go for, if we want to change this to an atomic thing later, we can do that. Easy enough. So app main, cool. We're going to go down here and say .font pokey. And that should be pokey font. We don't need that. We don't need the color. I don't need to define a fallback. And let's see what we've got. Sweet, it does not work at all. Let's see. TPF. Using font-based strokes. Okay. What is? That's the name. That's the source. It should work. Ah, format is true type. Got it. So now my question is, super modern browsers. I feel like I should have. Well, let's see if we can figure this out. So my @font-based rules, the format should be true type font. And then we don't get that working correctly because that would only work in Safari. So let's see if we can get the Pokemon WOFF true font. Pokemon solid fonts. Okay. So I kind of want, like, maybe this license. I don't know. Looks like we can link to it directly and download it. That would be convenient. That's another convenient way to do it. But I think we're going to try downloading it. So we're going to stick with super modern browsers and just go with the WAF font. I don't know what this font base does, so let's see. Download 3 different download files. That's great. I must credit the author. Maybe we don't just download random fonts from the internet. Pokemon font. Okay, that's not helpful. This actually looks a lot closer to what we want. Can I download this? That's the TTF again. So if I open that, let's see. Is it only going to have... Yeah, it only has the TTF one. TTF files not rendering on Chrome and Firefox. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Do not download TTF from Google Font API website. Not intended. It's not helpful. So let me see if my font is actually even working correctly or being loaded. So this thing should have a font family of Pokey, right? The font face itself should be coming from this URL at fonts / what was it? Pokemon-GL.ttf? DP. Okay, the font definitely lives there. I should probably be copying it from here so I can see. Yep, definitely lives there. So it's just not working because it's on Chrome, I guess. All right, well, what I wanted to get to anyway, it's not so important. What I wanted to get to was sort of styling it like the Pokemon font. Pokemon logo. So if we look at the Pokemon logo, we can see that we have a couple different colors going on. And I think it's going to be hard for me to recreate it entirely. But what I would like to do is sort of have this effect where we have this outline, and then maybe this shadow, and then maybe this yellow shadow inside as well. So let's see if we can recreate that. So we're going to go, instead of doing this, we don't care about that. We're going to go to this app, and we're going to say font Pokey is going to be, well, we should have a class that is color highlight, or color, yeah, highlight. Do I have that? I don't think I have defined that. We have color yellow. Color yellow, right. I think that's fine. Color yellow, we're going to change from gold to being the bar yellow default. That ought to change. What is that going to change? Our gold color somewhere around here. That's fine. Let's go to app. We don't want this font family anymore, so that falls back to its original. And then what I need to do is have a class. I have color yellow defined. I go to my app. I give it a class of color yellow. Great. That's now yellow. Cool. So far, so good. Now I need to get the blue outline and the dark blue other outline. So I don't think CSS has like CSS text outline property. Adding stroke to web text. WebKit text stroke. Well, that's kind of cool. Not supported in IE. That's totally fine for us. I want to see if that actually works for what I'm trying to do. WebKit text stroke. There we go. WebKit text stroke. Sure. One pixel bar blue 800. Huh. I think it totally worked. Let's change this background color to white maybe. And we can see that there is a little bit of an outline on those on that text. So instead of 1 pixel, let's say like 4 pixels, and then we're going to make this the blue default. Okay, that's kind of not at all what I want, because now, let me see, font weight bold. Oh man, that's even worse. Now you just can't see it at all. That's all right. This is not the right approach. So what I want is actually going to be a text shadow. We're going to say text shadow, and I think I need it because the stroke that I had before was coming. It wasn't just going out. It was coming from the edge of the text. It was coming in and out, expanding inward and outward at the same time. And using my fingers, and they correspond to the edge of the letters, it was moving like this. So we were running out of the space in between. What I want is for the edge to stay the same and the color to just grow. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to explain things with my fingers, and I did last time with my notepad, And I don't think that that's the best medium. I probably need like a camera that like points straight down, but Stony Eagle, man, Stony Eagle, were you, have you been streaming this whole time? What's up, y'all? Have you been on for the last like 8 hours or 10 hours? That's exciting. How'd the stream go? What'd you guys finish up on? I was in and out on that today. Oh, you came with Coding Desk. Okay, Coding Desk, what's up? First time chat from Coding Desk. Give me a minute while I go over and check out your stream, because I think I need to follow you as well. What were you all working on before you came over? How do you all find good live coding streamers to follow? Because I feel like I come on Twitch a lot, and I'm still relatively new here. You've heard great things about me. Hopefully not from Stony Eagle, because all he does is talk shit about me. But, you know, maybe that's just to my face, and he's actually saying nice things behind my back. Shopify developer for completing projects, like a developer at Shopify, or you build Shopify apps? Software and PCB dev. Software migration and working on business. Yeah, okay, that's how it goes. Yeah, like I don't know what's up with Twitch. I almost wish there was. I almost wish there was a better platform specifically for live streaming or like live coding, because okay, you help e-commerce tweak or migrate over. All right, music's coming down. Relax. Where are most people coming over to Shopify from? Is that like WordPress WooCommerce, or is that like Wix, or I don't even know, Magento? Okay, what we are doing today, or what I've been trying to do, is essentially recreate this style effect on my project. Now, I don't have this font family. I don't think I'm going to get this font family because I think it is actually licensed. Yeah. And so we're trying to do that with just CSS on this sort of custom font that we've got. You still live for anyone that's not rating Coding Desk? Uh-oh. I think you can make a font, but you're too lazy. Yeah, I've like looked into what it takes to actually make a font, and it is not trivial. Okay, so what we want to do with this text shadow is the approach I'm going to take is we're going to say the first one's just going to be like 4 pixels solid, and then we've got this blue. We're going to go with the default blue. And what that should do is, well, of course we can't see it because our body background is, well, we can't see it because we didn't actually do it right. What's going on there? Oh, right, because that's not how you do text shadow. Oops. Text shadow should be like the when are you going to make me poor, Austin? When am I going to make you poor? I already think you're pretty poor. I think pretty poorly of you already. No, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to apologize because. All right, Coding Desk. Hey, thanks for the raid. Thanks for coming by. I followed, so I definitely want to check out what you're working on over there. So yes, I am working on the Twitch affiliate stuff. I don't know. I kind of want to ease into that because I don't want my stream to get too like commercially. Like I don't want advertisements, at least not for now. I don't want to sell out. You know, let's just keep it fun. everything is everything's just available for everyone right away. But I do need some emotes. Dakota the Official, you made your 3D printer rickroll someone via the beeper and CFW. You're on a whole other level with that. I don't even know what you're saying. I need. Well, I just got a offered affiliate, so I need to set that up, and then I can get the emotes. But anyway, we are going to get to this text shadow thing because Stony Eagle is top notch at distracting me, and I need to focus. So text shadow, the way text shadow works is you have, like, I think vertical offset, so you can do 4 pixels down, or you can do negative, so you can do 4 pixels up. And then you can do, the next one is, I think, horizontal offset. So same thing. And then I want to say the next one is blur, so how much it blurs out as it spreads. And then the last one is the distance that it covers. So if we go like 4444 pixels, and then the last thing you pass to it is the color. Yeah, you're going to work and you're going to lurk, right? Do I know PHP? Are you asking me or asking Stony? Because Stony is all about the PHP. I know some PHP from working in WordPress land back in the day, but I don't do much of that today. Okay, we're going to take this. We're going to take this background off and change this to background white so I can actually see what I'm doing. Background. Cool. Let's leave that as is. So I'm still not seeing my text shadow here. I don't know why. Maybe I have one too many. There we go. Okay. So yeah, first number. Coded half your site in PHP. What's the other half? So let's see, this first, I feel like there should be another number that I can take, and that's like the offset. But anyway, essentially what we want is with this text shadow, okay, the first number is the horizontal offset. So we can see, you can go positive or negative to go movement in the X or Y direction. I want that to be 0 because I don't want that to travel at all. And then the second number is going to be how far it moves vertically, right? Once again, I want that to be 0 because I don't want it to move. And is there not a way to do... Interesting. Am I good in CSS? I think I'm all right. I usually do everything kind of custom CSS. I can do some fun hacky stuff. Some stuff I forget how to do, like this. Okay, I have an idea how we can accomplish this. But I really feel like there should be a 4th property on there. If it's like box shadow, that would work. This is the best CSS page you've ever done. Let's see what you got here. It's not going to be anything... I should probably check this off screen before I share it. Okay, cool. I can share this. Okay, this is the best CSS page you've ever done. Well, yeah, if you're going for... So this is like a 3D printer thing, huh? Rub type, cool. What are you actually... How are you actually building this? Okay, a ton of inputs, some divs, no forms, some BRs. How are you laying it out, though? Where is this? Images inside of a div for beads. Well, this is awesome. What did you do with it? this, I mean, I feel like you're messing with me at this point. That's pretty awesome. Background image, linear gradient. Okay. Cool. Inchworm CSS. Oh, wait, like you didn't do this in CSS? Inchworm / CSS. Okay. I don't know. Inchworm maker. What is this? These inchworms are meant to be used as bookmarks. Oh, cute! Look at that. Okay, they come in different formats. This page is used to design your own custom inchworm. Okay, so what would this do? This is like the head, and can I, if I click this, what does it do? Oh, I see. Okay, it modifies what we have over here. Interesting. Oh, and this is the legend. Okay, that makes sense. So we can say we want some different eyes, and then I'm gonna go like some alternating. No, I want red, green. Maybe not. Kind of like the red and green. Like that. My name is Austin, and my phone, I'm not going to give that, but I will put in a fake number. Just type a bunch of numbers and a super big number. So what's this going to do now? Nothing. Oh, send email for request. Come to the art center in 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, shoot. I hope I didn't accidentally. Wait, so what is. Oh, you got an email. That's awesome. That's cool. What is this art center? It's like for a school or a community center or something? Yeah, so what I'm doing here is, right, I'm going to do solid text outline CSS. This is, you're in Canada. Okay, well, you know, just send me that little, the little snake thing or inchworm thing. So what I want is, yeah, I don't think this is quite what I'm looking for. I need an outline stroke, but this won't work. Text shadow would kind of work. All right, let's stick with the text shadow idea. And so the problem that I have here is this is wrong, first of all, bad syntax. The 4 pixels, 4 pixels, 4 pixels represents horizontal direction, vertical direction, and the spread, or how like fuzzy it is. So if I don't want it to be fuzzy, I can make it 0 or omit it. And what I want is to kind of give a border color to the entire text. And here we can see that it's just kind of offset down into one side. And the effect that I'm going for is to actually wrap the entire thing. So to accomplish this, what we can do is actually have multiple shadows. So actually, let's go with, I think, 3 pixels so I can get rid of some of the white space. And I think they're just comma separated. So then we can do, instead of 3, 3, we can do -3 and 3. And then we can do a 3 and a -3. And then we can do a -3 and a -3. -3 and -3. And that gets us essentially the effect that I was going for, which is which is to kind of make a text stroke. Okay, let's see what you got here. Inchworm and how you did it. Give me 1 second while I just finish this text stroke up. So I'm going to leave this a little bit easier to read. Oh, shoot. I'm going to go like this. Move those all onto different lines. And that's my text shadow for the moment. So now, let me see what you're cooking with over here. Okay, so it's a PHP script that adds JavaScript to the page. And then, interesting, you're dealing with cookies as well. So if I go back to that same page, I should see the same thing that I had set up, I believe. Change bead orange. You know what would have been interesting for this is all of these that functions that essentially do the exact same thing. You probably could have changed this to a single function that would take in the target and maybe pull the data attribute off the target. Ah, cookies are just set for the email. Okay. But yeah, like change bead for red could have been something like change bead for, and then when you actually, this will be easier if I actually look at the element or look at the page while we're talking about it. So I imagine these little inputs are the ones that are like change bead one head, right? So there's an event listener that says when this thing is clicked, it's going to change it, which we don't see now. Like I guess I have to let me move this. Okay, let's dock you to the bottom so that we can see these images here change in response to whatever I click here, right? And you know how you could have done this is maybe make each one of these a radio input. So then they would all have the same name of like bead head 1, right? And when you listen to a change event, you can grab the value off of the input or off of the selected input and just change it to orange or something like that. And then what you could do here on this image is right now we're using a bunch of different GIFs or GIFs, I learned is the correct way to pronounce it. What you could do with this GIF is actually make it like an SVG so that you could assign a different class to it to change the colors. So instead of having to download different images each time, it basically just changes, it's the same element and just changes the color. Because right now, yeah, we're changing to a yellow GIF or a green GIF or light blue or blue. Just some ideas, but yeah, if you could turn this into a single function to handle all of these, that would be pretty handy. And then how you could control what it affects is you say on this, let me see, on this input, here you put maybe like a data attribute that determines or ties to which bead it corresponds with. Something like that, just an idea. And then you said the CSS is down further. Oh yeah, here we go. No, that's not CSS, that's more PHP for sending the email, it looks like. There was an inchworm request. Oh, so this is the email that's sent to you, yeah. And then here's where we actually generate. Okay, so this is the entire script. This is the entire application, is you have the whole HTML generated here. And then when the page reloads to actually send it, it checks for the presence of these cookies. And if they are there, it will send this HTML email. Yeah, if mail to subject, then the mail was sent. Otherwise, the email message was not sent. Cool. Coming along. Very cute little project. I like these little bead things. You know which ones? I was never very good at making. Well, I guess this is done with beads. But you know those ones where you just fold all of the plastic things together and people can make all sorts of crazy stuff? I was so envious when I was a kid of people that got those and were good at it. I couldn't do it. Anyway, I'm going to get back to trying to recreate this Pokemon style outline effect on our title here. So we couldn't do it. Let's see. There's a little trick here that suggests using WebKit text stroke. And we'll see why that doesn't work well. If we say like 4 pixels solid red, 4 pixels, just 4 pixels red, it totally messes up our text because you don't see the yellow because it kind of like squishes in and we want it to just go from the outside. Am I using normal font for the text? No, I'm taking one off of Google Fonts. It's called, what's it called? VT323. That is the font that I'm using. So anyway, we can't really use this text stroke because stroke goes from the edge of the text character and it stretches inward and outward, and we really just want it to go out. Text shadow kind of works. Boy, that does not look good close up, does it? There we go. Text shadow kind of works, but in order to accomplish the same amount of spacing all the way around, we need to use a text shadow in each direction, or I guess a bunch of different directions. In fact, we may even need, like, instead of just 4 directions, we may need more than 4 directions, but we'll leave it with that for now because it looks close enough. Now, the other effects that are kind of missing here is this bottom sort of left shadow that we've got. So to accomplish that, once again, I'm going to add another text shadow. And so I just go to the end, I add a comma, I add a comma, I go below, and I say what I want it to do. So I'll say, in this case, I want this essentially the same distance, so another 3 pixels maybe. Whoops. There we go. We want to go down and to the left. So I want to go left is the first number, which is going to be a negative. And we're going to say we want to go beyond the blue that we had there before. So we'll say -5 pixels. And then we want to go down. So maybe another -4 pixels. Or sorry, not negative. We want to go down is positive, I think. 4 pixels. And then if I call that red, now you can see that it is kind of getting the effect that we want. So we have some other variables, like blue, we'll say 800 maybe. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. And it looks like, what are you saying? You have a custom font that you're uploading. Pokemon. Or maybe you're just sending me... Maybe you were trying to give me a virus because I just had my computer yell at me saying it's not a valid font file. Okay, so we've got... Oh man, that looks really bad up close. But we've got more or less the effect that we want. With the exception of it being like solid, we do have the kind of shadow that we're looking at. So I think I'm kind of all right with that. It's close enough. So let's add that as well. That was -5 pixels, 4 pixels, var -- blue, and instead of the default color, we're going with an 800. And then the last missing piece here is this little tiny shadow. You can only just kind of see it, which is an overlay shadow. So how am I going to do this? Well, let me see. I'll try downloading that font one more time. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I got it. So let's see. Let's move that to, pull that into the font folder. And let's see if I can reference it. In main CSS, we're going to say at font face, font family, we're going to call this okay. And this is going to be at a URL of /fonts/ the name of the file /ttf. And here, what we're thinking is this would be font family. Okay. Oh, snaps! Look at that. It totally worked. That's rad. Wait, you're telling me you just made this font? That's pretty cool. If I go to, let's see how close this thing actually looks. The animated text shadow. Yeah, it's coming along. It's not looking too bad, huh? We've got a pretty good, I mean, I'm actually really surprised at how well this is turning out. Let's see, if we go here, and just for shiz, Pokemon, let's see, Pokemon. That's really close. I kind of love it. We can't call it the same thing, but I'm really happy with this. I mean, you definitely get the idea. It's recognizable. Yeah, just add a few more shadow lines of 3 pixels. So when you're saying a few more shadow lines of 3 pixels, what do you mean? Like this bottom? Well, look at the shadow on the letter E. It's all over the place. Right. Okay. So I think one of the problems with that is it's going up and to the right, up and to the left, down to the right, down and to the left, but not in the cardinal directions of up, right, down, and left, like straight up, right, straight. So in order to fix that, we can essentially copy most of this, paste it again. We're going to say the first one is going to go straight down. No, wait, straight to the right. Straight to the right, not down at all. Second one's going to go straight down. We're going to go top, right, bottom, left. So I can actually think about this in a good way. So we're going to go top, right, or we're going to top, and then right would be 3 pixels, 0. Bottom would be 0, and then 3 pixels, and left would be -3 pixels and 0. Okay, Stony Eagle, you just showed up with some font thing generator. Oh no, this is what you use for your subtitles. Yeah, you were going to go check out. I mean, I'm going to have this published at some point in the future somewhere. Okay, Pocket Monk open type. Interesting. Very on the nose naming. So let's see. Try it. Let's see. You try it. Text shadow of whatever this is. It's probably going to download a virus or something. Yeah, okay, this is close. The only difference here is because you're using 3 numbers, so I guess I could go to these commas, or this 4 pixels I could. Wait, what is this? This is all the same. This is all the same. I think I could just get rid of everything, and it'll be the same. No? What am I missing? I like how Dakota's just like dropping in a whole bunch of these totally random websites that you've made. Dakota Radio, streaming via VLC and Icecast. Great Rickroll there. You got me. I appreciate that. Man, it's just like I'm impressed by some of the things that the web developer community does. It looks stupid, but it works great. Are you saying the font, the text shadow? Yeah. You got me. Whatever. Okay, getting back on this text shadow that I think looks much better than the blurred out one. Looks much closer to what we're going for with this. Now there's just one sort of tricky part, and that is if you look really closely, let's look at this file. There's this like kind of dark yellow shadow that's like overlaid. So how am I going to accomplish this? I have no idea, if I'm honest with you. So I think, let's see what I can do. I add a bunch of the shadow rules. Yeah, but then I'm just like, no, why? I mean, I have something that works just fine. Look at this. Why would I do that? This looks great, with the exception of the E. Yeah, the E and the Z. Okay, I kind of get your point. Maybe I'm making a mistake. But then it's like, to get a solid line, you'd have to have so many shadows. Let's see. CSS, solid text shadow. No. I will continue opening links as long as you don't send me gnarly things. That's fine. I need like... What I need is like a CSS text border property, font border. Yeah, and the text stroke is not the solution that I'm looking for. Unless, maybe with text stroke, unless you can do something like text stroke and only tell it to go out. So let's see here. Looks like you can only do the length and the color, which is not going to work for us. So I'm going to stick with the solution that I've got going so far. It does look pretty. It does look pretty not great up close. If I go back to normal size, it looks passable. I need a zip of the source. Inset the shadow. Yeah, I'm going to do the shadow inset. Thanks for the spoiler. Can you inset a text shadow though? I don't know if you can. Dakota, I think this is going to be maybe too. I'll send it to you after the stream, okay? So you can check it out. Or actually, the source code is at what is it? GitHub Austin Gill / battle banners. There we go. Let me post that into the chat. And I mean, the latest changes that I've made aren't going to be in there, but what we've got so far. Of course, thanks for the help with the font family. I'm curious why that didn't work before. I actually want to maybe take a look at this and see, because I have some examples. So let's try this. The source was at Pokemon-BP. Well, I guess I didn't try any of the other ones. Yeah, that's not going to work. But it looks like we've made some success. Let's go EM. That's not much different. GB and RS. Oh, these might be like, oh, okay. Okay, check that out. That's looking good. I could use that instead of my other font family, which I may do that actually. So we've got, oh, that's Game Boy, maybe. Or let's see. What about for the title though? Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably we're not going to have these fonts because I do want to save this one though. That one's pretty freaking sweet. Like using that for the rest of the site, I think that's a good idea. We're going to say Poke Body. Let's copy those, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, undo that, and do that. So now in my code, instead of that, we're going to do Poke Body, and then my main app is going to stay with Poke, and that it's a lot bigger than it was, but it's looking much better, I think. Maybe. I'll undo that for now. That's a bit too big of a change. Oh no, what did I do? Pokey Bobby, in case I want to come back to it. All right. Let's see here. Where am I going next? So you're saying, Stony, that you think there's a text shadow we can do I gotta share this picture. It's too good. Oh, look at that. This looks, yeah, I want to do this effect. Looks like we have an extra shadow on there that we don't need, or I guess we would want that. But did you do this with CSS, or you just made this? Oh man, that was too funny. Right, so we want to do that inset box, or we want to try that inset shadow, which I don't think we can do, because if we do like MDN CSS text shadow, I bet we're not going to find inset on there. I don't see it. I did see some of this. What is this? CSS inset. Oh, right. That's for absolute positioning stuff. Got it. Okay, so yes, I suppose what I could do is have an image there instead that actually uses like the Pokemon font and is correctly styled, but we're trying to do this with CSS. So looking at this, we have another text shadow. So we're saying we want to add like potentially add one more text shadow, right? So we do a comma, we go down the next line, and we're going to say inset and something like -2 pixels, -2 pixels red, right? And that is not valid for a text shadow. We cannot do an inset property, unfortunately, so that option is off the table. So what is the solution I'm going to go with? What's the VS Code extension name? Oh, for the colors? Like that does this thing? The VS Code extension for those colors is color highlight. Very handy. Like it a lot. So what I'm going to go with is, this is the solution I'm going to go with. We're going to go with taking the text and copying that onto a data property. Which we technically don't need to do, but this will hopefully make a little bit of sense in a moment. And we're going to go with the font-pokey before, or maybe after, the VS Code extension for the Vue file. What do you mean? To make it like syntax highlight Vue? I'm not sure what you mean by the VS Code extension for Vue files. Like the little icon for the Vue files, maybe? To run it. Oh, no, this is, I have it's a Vite project. So it's running Vite. I have my server going, watching for changes. And then when I hit save, I go to the browser and check it out. There is a project called Preview.js, which supposedly should be able to preview some of your files. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Urchin, for you too. I'm glad that you appreciate the music. So we are going to tap into the after pseudo element on the text, and we're going to say that the content is going to derive from the attribute of data content. And if I got that right, we see that we have battle banners is printed in two places. One is the actual element and one is the after element. And what we're going to do is, what are we going to do here? I want to do like an inset, so it overlays. So we can do like position absolute, which means the parent would need to be position relative. And then this one we can put inset 0, so it's top left, bottom right, 0. So now we'll have like two elements there. And the challenge is still getting this shadow here. So how am I going to do this? I feel like I'm really close. Let's try this. Let's try color is going to be transparent, and text shadow of its own will be like 1 pixel red, so we can just totally see it. Okay, not quite what I was going for. Not quite what I was going for, not entirely off either, because this will actually be -1 pixel, -1 pixel. Nope, nope. -1 and 1. And that kind of puts it in the location that I want it. But that's the text shadow. So close. Y'all can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? Twitch derped out. How so? Uh-oh, what's going on? Yeah? Wait, can y'all hear me? Okay. Well, as long as y'all can hear me and y'all can see me, we're good to go. I guess I was just, I don't know, hopefully someone got a screen capture of that. Okay, we are so close. So I need, what do I need? Okay, there's like a clip path. So it stopped playing, but it's still playing. You can hear me, but you can't see me. For sure, the Twitch doesn't let us see here, Austin. All right, I'm not sure what to do. Do I have to like stop streaming and start again? Okay, it's just you. Good. All right, so what are we doing? What are we doing? There's a CSS clip that I can do. So now what I'm thinking is maybe I have a before and an after. Oops. Right? Before and after. And what we'll do is before and after, we'll both kind of have the same properties or the same rules. They'll both be based on the content. They'll both have position absolute, be inset, color transparent. I still can't tell what's going on if y'all can hear me. Cool. Well, I'm glad that you can actually see what's going on, right? You're not just this hasn't turned into web dev ASMR, right? Where I just describe with a sultry voice that all my tests have passed. Okay, I'm good. Cool. So we're going to do the before and after. And we're going to see, it's pulling the content from the data attribute for both of them. And they're both position absolute. They're both inset, which means aligned to the top, left, bottom, and right at the very edge. They're both going to be color transparent. They're not actually both going to be color transparent, in fact. And in fact, I think I don't want a text shadow either. So now we're going to work with the before and the after individually. And You're just not having you on top because you're doing stuff. Okay, cool. That could have sounded questionable, but that's all right. So what I want to do is actually, you can do this thing where, what is it called? In like Photoshop or design tools, where you can have two elements lay on top of each other and you can have them cut their overlapping parts out. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And I have never done that before. So let me see, CSS text masking. That's what it's called. How do you knock out text? Perfect. This is what I want. This is the effect that I'm kind of thinking to go for, where one of the texts knocks out the other, and then the one that remains has that little bit of color to it. So how do I do it? Background, text fill, background clip. Oh man, this one little effect is becoming so hard to do. Surprisingly difficult to do. Maybe I'm thinking about this all wrong. Maybe I kind of have the effects here, right? Like, or maybe not. Just a nasty brain as me. Yep. I mean, yeah, maybe. I didn't say anything though, so. Whoa, no one said anyone was laying on top of each other. Come on now. So close with this. Okay, what if, and hear me out, I reverse, I got it. I basically have it as it is right now. Okay, let's undo these changes because it was working. Right. So now what I have is if I reverse the yellow and the red, then I pretty much have it. But they need to be in a different order. So like this, then the light yellow in there becomes the shadow, the red becomes the yellow, and then I think we're kind of good enough to go. There's a little bit of a difference there, but maybe after with the transparent and text shadow blue on top. Yeah, but see that the problem is currently before or after the text in here is transparent, but it's the red shadow that's showing through. So that's not, I don't think what you're describing is going to work. Extracting game from GitHub. I think you typed into the wrong chat. I have no idea what that means. But let's get this going. So instead of red here, right, we want this to actually be the var yellow default. Okay? And then where we have the yellow color, we're going to get rid of that here. And we're going to say that the actual pokey font, yeah, CSS hell. You know, I actually feel like I'm normally pretty decent with CSS, but this is actually probably one of those things that you have to do so infrequently that it's not even valuable for me to learn how to do it, but we're going to have fun trying to do it anyway. So then this one, we want the color to be the actual color of the shadow. So this is going to be, let's see, yellow, what is it? No, color yellow. Is it yellow? Color? Color yellow. Color yellow. And then we want it to be a dark one, so maybe the 800. And we have a typo there. semicolons. Okay, we're close. We have a white shadow where we're supposed to have a yellow shadow, which means we're really just missing color. So was it just supposed to be yellow, not color yellow? Where's my app? There we go. Yellow default. Here we go. Yellow 800. Let's do this. Booyah! Oh yeah! That's awesome. I mean, admittedly, like up close, if you look at it, it looks like crap. But it is more or less getting the effect that we want. So now, because of this sort of hackiness, I need to change my offsets because my text shadow, I want this to be a -2 and a 2 so that we get a little bigger effect with the shadow. We're going to make that color a little later. Maybe we'll go to the 100. All right, sorry, music's going down. There you go. Okay, so we've got the shadow. Now we've got a little bit too much of an offset. The blue doesn't look like it's actually outlining it. So how we fix that is the offsets need to be adjusted, or the text shadows need to be adjusted. So off to the, this is gonna be some difficult math. It's gonna be some difficult math, or I can just reset this to 1 pixel where it looks close enough where no one's gonna give me crap about it being off. After all, this is not a science. Actually, this is pretty exact all the way around. But it's just a fun project. And when you zoom out, it kind of looks the part, right? What do we think? That's pretty good, right? I think that's all right. Let's see. Let's get this color back so we can see what the project more looks like. And I think that's pretty good. I mean, that's a cool effect, no? All right, I'm pretty happy with this. Did we, I wonder, is there an issue? Is there still an issue going on with Twitch or what? Yeah, I feel set up ngrok for port forwarding CSS on it. Yeah, I can probably do that. So we go here and we go X ngrok. What is it? HTTP 3000. There you go. Oh, I can totally see that you actually just joined and clicked it. That's funny. Urchin for you too. Just loving the terminal commands. All right, so let's get back here. Urchin for you too. Not so stoked. No compliments to make about the Pokemon actual app, but anytime I drop into the terminal, magic. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the results of this. And if we look at it, Need to set up the auth token. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, there's some other systems. Let's see, npm tunneling, fork tunneling, or something like that. Node tunnel. There's a different project besides npx or ngrok. Local tunnel. Used this before. I'm gonna copy that. npx local tunnel 1000. Oh, I can see what you mean about Twitch being glitchy. All right, I'm going to turn off my camera for now then anyway. See if that solves it. Okay, my URL is funnyoctopus30 at local.lp. See if that works. We should be able to see, if I go here, if it works. Okay. We've got the right Vite app, so the HTML should be downloading. It might take some time because I think that would require for all of the resources to pass from this URL through the tunnel to the HTML on my end to the resources on my end, which are a Windows machine, but it's also the resources are inside of WSL on Windows. So yeah, who knows? But anyway, you've got the source code. It's on GitHub, and you can play with. I'm doing what I can for you to try and get that shared. Yeah, Windows and WSL it's okay. There's some glitches with it. Anyway, okay, let's see. The next thing I want to fix, because we're trying to polish up this app. Functionally, it's working pretty well. Next thing I really need to fix is this thing right here. This has been a pain in my side. Not this. This health bar works fine. This file input, this has been one of the most annoying things and hard to debug, was that this field set goes wider than the div that contains it. Oh yeah, I just turned my camera off just because I noticed the Twitch glitching stuff. So hopefully my microphone is on, but the camera's off. Maybe that'll fix things. But I need to, unless y'all like really miss seeing the mustache, then hopefully this will make it work better. So what I need to fix here is this overlapping field set. And the reason this field set overlaps is actually because this input has a file input in it. So what am I going to do to fix this? Well, I can do this the easy way or the hard way. You want to see my face turd. Nothing loaded? Well, I'll push up the changes today after the stream, and then if you want to pull it down and run the Vite app locally, that's probably the best I can do for you. So, sorry, close that tunnel, and I will make those changes and push. Actually, I could probably push the changes up right now. Let's do that. So then if you want, you can copy it all down. Okay, we update this. We have all of our files, all of our font families. I'm going to get rid of all of them except for the ones, I'm not going to keep any of the ones I'm not using, which should just be that, and that, and that. And then give me one moment while I say, making cool header font. And then we will git push that. Cool. So are they legal fonts? I got it from Dakota, actually. So, and the other font, there's 2 fonts on the site right now. One is from Dakota and one is off of Google. So hopefully they're legal. Hopefully they're not viruses in the form of fonts. But yeah, if you want to go and pull it down, you can go to github.com/austingill/battle banners with a Z. And it's just a Vite, standard Vite app. I'm surprised that they don't actually have the instructions here because I didn't change anything about the README. But if you copy this or if you pull this down and you run npm install and then npm run dev, then everything should be set up for you, or working the way it's working for me. All right, back to what we were working on. What were we working on? We were working on this ugly overlapping file input. Yeah, no, I understand that's what you meant by legal. And Google fonts are free to use. And then a font that was given to me from Twitch that I think Dakota created is free to use, but I could be wrong. So Dakota, you tell me if this is if this font is fair game. Okay, so this file thing, we can fix this the manual way or the not so manual way. The not so manual way is to say legal, sweet. The not so manual way is to say, well, since we're using a library called Vue.js anyway, and Vue.js has, nope, not input, has, where is it? File. Vue.js has this file component, and none of my examples, live examples, are working, so that's great. But there's this file component. So let's say we go to, what is that? The opponent sprite. So we go to our opponent component, which is always fun to say, and we want to say import the file from utensils. And then how do I think that component should be registered because this is a setup function, which means I should be able to just use it directly. I can say where I have my file. We've got, wait, npm run coffee machine. Is that in here somewhere? No, Rick rolled again. So what we can do is say, yeah, you got me. So vfile component, and what is that going to give us out of the box is a file here. So kind of the same as what we already have. However, let's see, utensils, let me see, because there is like a more styled example on here. Yeah, this actually is what I want, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take these styles, and I think that's all that I need. So I'm going to come down here and say style tag, put in those styles, and let's see what we've got. Cool. Okay, so I think this is what I want. So I've got this little Dropbox thing here, and what I can do is give this. I need a class of like hidden, visually hidden. Vite.js visually hidden. That's right. I need to include the utensils styles. So in my main.js, where I've got utensils, and I go import utensils slash dist slash main.css. Okay. All right, let's see where it is. In here, open up my terminal and say ls node modules utensils, and do the same for my dist, and there it is, style.css. Okay. Just style.css. That should work. Okay, now if we go to opponent, we don't see the previous file. Which means if I go to opponent, I can get rid of the old file input. Not that one. The old file input. Nice. Nice, Dakota. Got it working locally. So I'm curious to see what you end up, where you end up going with this. But let's see what we've got here. So now we've got this file input, right? And I think this probably wants a label of something like, what did we have before? A label with sprite. Name, let's see, the name is sprite. Put that onto its own line. Type would be file. I think I should be able to copy these and it should work the same. Okay, the class is not coming on there correctly. Or it is, but that's not going to work. So what I need is a div around that. Class. Bottom or margin block end. Now that's laid out correctly. And now if I select it, we should be able to pick our file. Awesome. Still works just as expected. So now what I might do is actually show how you can recreate something like this with a native file input, so that instead of relying on a third-party library to do something like this, it's relatively easy. So let's get rid of this drop zone. And this is what we have to begin with. It's just got kind of the label. The actual output is, let's see. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to recreate it. We're going to keep the file input where it was. Are we going to do that? No, we're going to create it from scratch. We're going to create an input from scratch. So input type of file. For this to work, we need a name of sprite. And we need a label. So we're going to put a label after it. GitHub Copilot getting in the way. Stop it, please. No, please stop it. Stop recommending things. Okay, I don't want a field set. Thank you. No, I don't want a field set. Thank you. I want a label. Okay, so the label here is going to be called Sprite. And let's see what we've got so far. All right, so you've got this little tunnel thing that you're trying to share with me now to check out. We'll wait for that to load because that might take a minute. And let's see, I think things seem to be going a little bit better now. I'm gonna turn my camera back on. We're up, back at you. And let's see, it's loaded. Okay, you did something. Whoa. I don't know if that's the effect I was quite going for. What is that? What is going on there? D-tube. D-tube. Something. I don't know. It looks like it's still reloading every time that maybe you hit save over there. So try changing text. Oh yeah, to change the text, you have to change the data attribute on the H1 as well. So you change the contents of the H1 and then you change the data attribute. So if you go here and we see that that should be an H1, we can copy the contents of that into the data content, and there you go. It doesn't look, it looks like nothing's really changed from my styles, so I think we're all good. Turn that back off, go back to this file input that we're trying to fix. And we can see that the native file input is just, let's see, display none. So it's like too big. When I set it to display, you can see how these inputs stretch out because that's as big as it can be. So how do we fix this? Let me see. I want to get rid of this one. I think I want to wrap this in a div that has some margin on the bottom. Class equals margin block end 16. So it's all nicely spaced out. And then essentially what I want to do is probably just hide this. So I'm going to give this input. Well, I need to connect these actually, so that when I click this label, it opens up my file selector like that. So to do that, this input needs an ID. And we're going to say, call it just Sprite. And then we'll say that this label is for opponent Sprite. So now when I click this label, it also opens up that file input. Okay, next things next. I want, okay, if this goes on a page on your website, I'd rather wait until I get it out, if that's all right with you. I mean, I guess it kind of depends what you want to do with it. But yeah, I'm going to be publishing it soon. So if you don't mind waiting, I'd appreciate it. But I mean, it is open source, so you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so next thing I want to do is this input. I actually want to hide it from the page. Yeah, sure, if you want to password lock it, that'd be cool. And the way I'm going to do that is with a class called visually hidden. So why are we using a visually hidden class? Is because if I set this input to display none, it won't actually be accessible in the well, the DOM tree. So when a user comes through and is tabbing, they won't be able to access it. And same with someone that tries to, well, I guess a user with a mouse could click on the label and then it accesses it, but a keyboard user would not be able to reach it. So the solution there is not to put a tab index on the sprite or on the label, because although that would then make the label accessible with a tab, that's not what we want. So let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to go to our main CSS file. We're going to add this utility class called visually hidden. And I can never remember how this one works, so I always just look it up. How to hide content from ally project. You just come here, you copy this whole thing, you remove it, or you paste it here. And all of this combination of magical CSS entities means that this element can be removed from the page without, well, visually, but not removed from the actual flow of the document. So if I go through and tab, I actually can access it. So right now the focus is on that that file input. And if I tab again, I'll go to name. If I tab back, I'll go to the file. And if I tab back, I'll go to the select. So now there's a problem is as I'm tabbing through these inputs, I don't actually see when I'm on the file input. I ended up here riding that Stony train today. Yeah, I was on Stony's. Oh, Brent, ever the lurker. I'm still not convinced that you're not a bot that hangs out on Twitch all day and has some sort of natural language processing to understand what's going on. But, you know, bot or not, you're good people. Okay, so what can we do about this label to actually show when it's selected? Well, we can say when. What do I want to do here? I think I'm going to do this with a custom class called opponent sprite. All right, man, my music has really changed here. I ran out of the chiptunes. Going back on to chip. No, we're going to go to some synthwave. All right. So what we're going to do is say that when our opponent sprite receives focus, we can actually target the next element. So in this case, we'll target the label and say that it's going to have, what is this outline style? We're going to match it. You'll see this focus style and essentially copy this. Okay, so now when I focus on my file input now, we can see that the label receives focus, and that's because it is the file input has, sorry, the label doesn't receive focus, but it receives a focus style outline. So the file input is currently focused, the label is its sibling, and we're using that sibling selector to style the label based on the file being selected. Hope that's clear. Okay, so next thing is next. I want to essentially build like a sort of drop zone like I had a moment ago. And we're going to say, this is actually going to be, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to move this label to wrap the input, put the text, probably doesn't actually really matter. But as long as the label, whatever the label is wrapping, will turn into a clickable element that can be used to trigger the input. So I want this text to be clickable, but then I also am going to say that this drop zone is going to be like something like drop some files. Okay, so then instead of this being a label, we're going to say this is the drop zone. And now I'm going to add some styles for the drop zone. So I think I had something here already that's probably going to work pretty well. Most of it anyway. Display flex, sure. Justify content, sure. Border, the border should match the other inputs in the application. So where are our styles here? App input. I think I want it to match this. The border is there. The border radius we don't need to set. The padding I will need to set, but let's just set that to like, I don't know, 1.5 rem for the moment. Background light blue, sure, transition, whatever. Let's leave that how it is. Let's see how this looks. Drop some files. Doesn't look like it's actually working. Or is it working? Definitely not working. Drop some files. Because I called it drop zone. Okay, drop zone. There we go. Now we can see it looks correct. I don't want the background to be light blue. And I'm going to use some of my atomic CSS now to give this background of white and color of black. Cool. And then we need a border radius of 4. Okay, so now these kind of look similar, except you can actually drop files here, I believe, and you can click here, and it'll select a file for you. Now, there is some logic that is included in this custom drop zone example that we are probably not going to get to because it's quite complex. So if I look at this and I select a file, I can see that the file name gets placed in there. Oops, cancel. Now, doing that is actually... Oh, hey, Melody, what's going on? Is that raising your hand because you have a question or raising your hand just to say hey? So, yeah, there's some logic here that... Just waving. So what we've got here is essentially a file drop zone that allows us to focus on it because we're actually focused on the file input and not this custom div. It also means that we can access it with the keyboard and hit enter. And if we do, we can select the file. But there's some more logic that's missing is that once we selected something, we're still working with this drop zone div that doesn't actually change or does anything. Melody's got some great emotes. Man, I got to get some of those. Okay, but what we can do is with this custom file input, it's a little bit more intelligent because it will tell us things like when there's a file added, when what the file name is. I think if we select like multiple files, I don't have multiple set up, but if I were to set the multiple attribute on there. And I think I can come here and set 2, and then it's going to tell me that there's 2 files selected. That's also something that's very difficult to do with just a custom drop zone. So with that in mind, I kind of showed some tips on how to make a custom drop zone. If you wanted to do more, it's a little bit more difficult. One more thing that I want to kind of showcase here is if I go to let's see. If I bring my desktop over, another thing that you want to support with a drop zone is not just focus or keyboard accessibility, not just clicking and opening up the file UI, but you want to actually be able to drag and drop a file over. So if I drag this onto the desktop right now, I think it's just going to navigate to that file, which is not the behavior that we want. But if I drop this onto a file input, that's where our current implementation is broken. If I drop this onto this custom file input, I think this should work. Yeah. So there's still even more logic that's built into this customs component that I'm going to use because that's a lot more handy than trying to do things from scratch. And it basically mimics all of the behavior from this default. Again, that's kind of what we want to do. We can tab to it. We can use the keyboard to open it up. We can use the mouse to open up the UI. And we can also drag from our desktop onto the file input, and it will select that. Cool? Cool. So let me restart here. I'm going to get rid of this file input, keep this custom one that we have, and if I do this correctly, or if it's working correctly, I should be able to drag this here, and we're almost there. It's not supporting the drag and drop. It is supporting the selection. So almost there, not quite. I'll have to figure that one out. In the meantime, let's actually get this looking like we want it to look. So border radius, I don't think we need that, or the padding. We don't want the same, we want the background to be white. Okay. I don't really care when there's a selected file. And when something is droppable, that's an interesting effect. Yeah, so that's another cool little effect that we have is when you hover over it holding a file, we can have it change colors. I actually do kind of like that, but instead of sky blue, I think I'm gonna have it be that highlight color. So the variable that we have, we're gonna say color highlight. Okay. So if I hover over that, cool, very cool. Node.js on your website is a pain in the ass. Okay. All right, the next thing I need is I need this border to match my other inputs. I need the border radius. So how am I going to do that? Let me see if I can pull up this file thing again, utensils. Go to the file input, and there should be something that lets me pass in custom classes. So we've got the input, we've got the text, and we've got the drop zone. That's what I want. So on here, on my file, I don't want multiple, but I do want the class to equal, and here I can add my custom classes, such as that, I believe should work. Nope, that did not work. Oh, no, that's right. That should be not class, it should be classes, which takes an object where we can pass in drop zone and give the drop zone this class. And that also did not work. Awesome. Where's my drop zone? Cannot find module worker threads. What are you trying to set up? It sounds like you're trying to work with multiple workers or worker threads, which is obvious from what you just said. Why is my classes not working? Let's look at this source code and see the drop zone. Classes label input text. That's the problem. We don't. Back on. Okay, so let's get this fixed. We have this V file. We are now going to import it from our local folder. So this should be /vfile.view because it's coming from the same folder. It should work exactly the same as vfile because that, after all, is where we copied it over from. So let's look at that. It looks like it's still there. However, we can make the one little bug fix where it's looking for a drop zone. Drop zone is supposed to have more classes. So let's fix that to be drop zone and classes dot drop zone. Okay, I think that's fixed. It looks like that's passing in the. It looks like that's now passing in the spacer that we asked for with the margin block end 16. One little bug, two little bug, three little bug squash. Yeah, exactly. I just keep bringing them up and knocking them down, you know? Okay, so now to get this to look the same, we can tap into that same, where are we? Tap into that same class that we're passing in on the drop zone, and we're going to say that this should have a, what do our other inputs look like? App input. So it's going to need this. Right? And then the padding I'm going to pull in that from an atomic class that I already have. Oh, wait. These are no longer being used. Forget that. Forget that. That's out of it. I'm going to get rid of this border here and replace it with the border that I have on the other inputs. The background color we should be adopting from our atomic classes. So we can see background white. And then I just need the little border radius. Let's see. Radius of 4. And that should match my other inputs. And the only thing missing now is the color. Color of black. And some padding. We've got margin, border, padding, 4. I don't think I have that defined yet. So in my main.css, where I define all my other paddings, we've got width, we've got margin, we've got border, and then we've got padding, 8. So let's try one with a 4, which is 0.25 rem. And that's pretty good, I think. So if we look at these other inputs, how much padding do they have? Padding of 0.25, looks like it's the same, looks pretty good to me. So choose files or drop here for the sprite. I can click on that, I can select it, great. The only thing missing now is if I go to my input, I need to be able to target, once again, that focus state. Go honor your name, Stoney. You've had a long day of streaming and hanging out with friends and hydrating. Don't forget to hydrate, okay? Make sure, whatever you do, that you drink lots of water. I think you still owe us like 10 of those. So now the only thing I need is, Brent, were you on the Stony stream earlier when everyone was just dropping the hydrate cues on him? That was pretty funny. I need is, what do I need? Yeah, Phil's was there. That was too funny. What I need is this focus rule. So I need on this drop zone, this is actually going to be pretty cool when we're done with it, I think. And I copy this over, paste it here, and now instead of the opponent sprite, I need for this input, I need access to this input ID. So I'm going to call that, no, we're just going to give it a custom class of opponent sprite. So we've got classes for the drop zone. And we want a class for the input as well of opponent sprite. So now I believe if I focus on it, no, where is it? My opponent sprite is getting that class. Oh, I'm using the next sibling selector, and what I need is the any next siblings selector. And I also need to set this up with the Vite.js file dropzone, not the dropzone that I was using, and that works. Excellent. Now my custom dropzone looks like a native input, behaves like a native input, with the exception of the drop, I think, right? If I drop something here, no, it works, but it's not triggering an event. I believe that's because it's a custom component. It may not actually trigger that event. It may be on update equals, let's say log. And I'm going to create a custom function called log. I'm just going to say const log is equal to console. Oh my gosh, console.log. Dakota hates Node.js. I'm sorry. You drunk on iced tea with the hydration. That was great. That was so fun. When do you need to set a timeout? Okay, so let's see if my logger is actually logging. If I change this to a file, we do get the log event. That's great. If I change this to nothing, we should get an empty array. Okay, that's correct. And then if I drag a file onto that, we do get that log event. Cool. So that's great, because that means all I have to do is change this on file event to that event. And now this is no longer handling a native input event. This is now handling a custom component event, which means it's not going to be grabbing all of this information from the, it's just going to get the files directly. Okay. Can set timer on redemption to prevent drowning. Okay, cool. So that should fix the problem. Meaning if I select this, booyah, it's working. We are getting it updated on the UI. If I unselect it, we get it removed, which is fine. And then if I drop onto the element, we get it working again. Fingers cracked, shoulder shrug, fist bumps, because it's working, and I'm excited. Man, it feels like we didn't actually cover a whole lot today. It also feels like that should probably be taller than it is. Hey, whatever. I don't actually want this file input to be justify content center or display flex. I think it's fine just as it is. It looks a lot like the other ones. But I thought we had a padding that we had given it. So we'll keep it how it was. Where is my drop zone? Should have a padding of 4. Oh, because it has a padding of 4. It looks like the other ones. That's right. It's not very tall. I'm going to give it a padding of 8. A little bit different, maybe 16. There we go. Now it looks a little bit more like a drop zone, right? I think so. So let's close that. Let's pull this up. I think if I hover over this, it should have been turning yellow, shouldn't it? Shouldn't we have that defined here? Droppable. That was working earlier. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this. So I'd say the key takeaway here, the cool thing is, if you're going to build a custom file dropzone, make sure that you have keyboard accessibility, you have click accessibility, and you have
Back on? Back on. Not back on. Oh, man. Okay, back on. Here we go. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm about to end anyway. Clearly this system is it's on the fritz. Is that what it is? Dakota's been hacking me this whole time. That's why I'm having issues. Maybe it is. No, I turned that tunneling off. Cool. I'm glad that the sound is better now. Now that I'm about to completely end the stream. But yeah, what we're doing, we did some cool stuff with the text shadows here, where we have an H1, and then on top of it, we have the exact same text kind of like sitting over it. And the reason we do that is to get this like text shadow effect, which was kind of fun and interesting. The H1 itself, yeah, it's cool. It was fun. I think just like watch this again, watch the restream. And then the other thing we did was fix this file input so that now if we're on a smaller screen, yeah, this flex needs to be fixed too. This is an easy fix if we just set flex wrap to wrap. It's an easy fix. Then why didn't it just work? Oh, it's because it's a grid. Perfect. My mistake. Yeah, Stony, if you know what, I could use a lot of help with the Twitch setup. There's like overlays and all sorts of stuff, but the next project's gonna have to be stream overlays. Yeah. Oh man, y'all are just, you know what? I'm coming up in the world, and if you're not doing haters, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. So y'all hating on me right now is just fanning the ego. So bring it on. I unlocked affiliate. I have not set it up yet. So battle you. Oh yeah, there we go. This is how we got to end every stream, is with a battle. So let's save this onto my desktop. Yes. And then let's start from scratch. And let's see. Battle preset. Phil's, where you want to battle and what time of day do you want to battle? And I will set this up in the meantime. Boom. Name. Oop. Am I not typing in there? There we go. Okay. Nighttime. What location? We got grass, sand, water, mountain, forest, and cave. And me, I'm going to be Hey Austin Gill. We're going to stick with the statuses, and we're going to JavaScript to determine the outcome of this battle. So let's go with the scene in the mountain. And we're going to say, I think, let's see if we can do this an even more interesting way. So right now I'm on the opponent, and I can say document dot query selector. What is it? An input with, type equals range. Range. Okay, and then we're going to say var OH equals that. And we're going to say var H equals math dot random times 100. And I think we want to do math dot random times 100. How do you change the IP host for Vite? I don't think so. Okay, because you're trying to Dakota, you're still trying to host this. So if you want, I would recommend hosting it as a static application. Vite runs a server for dev in your dev mode, but if you run npm run build, then it will actually generate static assets to, I think, either a dist to a dist folder, and then you can just publish the contents of the dist folder. That's probably going to be the easiest way. Okay, so we've got the health. Ooh, it's going to be a good one. And we're going to say OH is the input dot value equals H. So that sets it. So now we have an interesting situation where we have modified the value on this input, but Vue is not aware of that. So it still thinks it's full. So now what we need to do is emit a synthetic event, which I forget how to do, but it's in here somewhere in my input component. Input find to do. Here we go. And then we need to trigger this. On the element itself, dispatch a new event, an input event. And when that event dispatches, Vue actually captures it and then does whatever update we needed to do. So that's that. For the next stream, we make a battle button and fight. And the fight. Okay, so like randomize things. We could try that. Now we're going to go to the trainer and do the same thing, essentially. So I think I can actually just copy everything that I have. Is get the health, generate a random health, set the value. Ugh, that doesn't look good. And also, it did not get the right input. Oh, shoot. Need to undo that. 79. Okay. So go to the trainer. Why did it not get... I guess they're not visually hidden. So let's do query selector for this. Grab it by the name. You have your own site. Nice. This will be fun. I'm glad that someone else kind of got into this. So we're going to say that the trainer health is going to be the input with, oh no, the input with where the name equals trainer health. Now we have the correct one. th.value is going to be math.round, math.random times 100. And then we need to emit the custom event once again, where we dispatch the event, but we do that from this element. And typo. And that sets it up. So this is how we programmatically set everything up. Don't you dare Rickroll me. Yeah, that is the completely random. I didn't set anything up manually, and it just so happens that Phil's and me were pretty evenly matched. Although Phil's is technically a little bit ahead. I think my health was 74 and Phil's is 79. So let's generate that banner. Let's not do that because I need to blast this song every time that I play it. Generate the banner. And we'll overwrite that one. Boop. Awesome. That's going up on the Twitter right now. And there you go. Yeah. You know what would be really awesome is creating two things. Something that automatically generates or connects the Twitter account so that I can like have this upload instead of having to manually upload. I can just come here and like upload to Twitter. And then the other cool thing would be if we could pull people from Twitch and have their avatars, like pull opponents from Twitch and have them come in here. That would be so cool. It would take a shit ton of code. Yeah, it probably would. Can host the battle image so we can all see each other. Yeah, this would be cool. I mean, I think right now I still want to get this to look a little bit nicer. It still feels a little bit sketchy. But yeah, that would be pretty cool if we could integrate the Twitch API. I need to figure out where to stop this project, and then maybe we can use this project to start the next one, which could be like integrating with the Twitter API. But we'll see. Anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go today, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Love all the feedback. Love all the chats going on today. I love that Stony Eagle took it easy on me. I feel like we're recreating a bridge of connection built on a lot of hydration. You know, a bridge over hydrating water. Okay. Yeah, where are we going to raid? We got who's picking? Who's the first one to pick the raid? Yeah, B Dougie. I was thinking the same thing. So let's go over there. Cool. ready to start it. I am going to send that over in a minute. Thanks again for hanging out, y'all. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. This channel is starting to really pick up, so I appreciate it. All right, I'll catch you Friday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. See ya.